I remember there's the shot where you like look both ways, like
Yeah.
around, and I was like, oh, she's a good actress. Because there's nothing but fake, there's nothing here. And she's like seeing stuff.
I'm very, very eager to know at what point did either of you know about Riley's fate, for lack of a better way to put it? And was that a surprising revelation?
To be honest, like when I got the job and signed on, I knew I was only in, 6 of 7 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, I'm assuming I die. Like I didn't know, I kind of just assumed. But it was in reading the scripts, and you're like, oh, okay. And there is like, I kind of died twice. So there was a little bit of like thinking like in 4 I die, and then it was like, oh, I'm back. And then, but I loved it. Like I was really like blown away by the scene. Like honestly, like I couldn't have imagined a better death scene.
As a whole, like shooting the scene was strange because we were on a rowboat on like a blue screen, like up on a pillar, and Zach's rowing in air, and there are no stars and there is no water, and there's just like a fan blowing air and a guy laying on the floor like doing water effects for the lights. And this is our first day working together, and I didn't know Zach before this project, and there was something about his performance of the monologue that he gives beforehand, that all of that just dropped away from me. All of the bullshit fell away. And there was an instinct to me of like, oh, I don't want this guy to die. Not this guy. I like this guy.
Not on day 2.
Day 2, we're buds now.
I remember, honestly, like just to throw it back at you, I remember there's the shot where you like look both ways, like around. Yeah. And I was like, oh, she's a good actress. Because there's nothing but fake, there's nothing here. And she's like seeing stuff.
And this is not always the case. Like occasionally, sometimes you get to day 2 with somebody and you're like, oh, okay. Mm-hmm. You're a nice person. You're always on time. I like that. But no, it was right away. There was safety in the sense that like we knew that we were going to go there with each other. And what I always felt about that moment is that it's a brilliant bait and switch Mike does. He makes you think that this show is about your 2 white male leads. And then it ends up being Bev and Erin versus each other. It ends up being you're left with your women, your Muslim sheriff, your lesbian doctor, and the old woman. So it was a really cool moment to pivot the show on, and unexpected.
Yeah, I mean, fully unexpected. I feel like your reaction, Erin's reaction in that moment is like me watching it as well. Well, I think that we mentioned the monologue, and I think that Riley does kind of lay a lot of his feelings out there. There's not really a whole lot of mystery of what he wants at the end before he's gone. He kind of just lays it out to Erin. But I'm curious then, Zach, what do you think that moment means as just the culmination of his arc and his redemption?
Maybe it's not even his redemption, but it's just like, this is all I can do. This is all I have to offer to the world is, when his life is ruined and he's turned into a vampire, he's like, I'm not gonna walk around as a vampire. That's not happening. Well, maybe I can sacrifice myself to save the one person I truly care about, which is kind of shitty because his mom's nice to him, but it's a little like moms. I'm sorry, Kate. I know you have 2 kids.
I know.
Like, and I feel it for my wife. It's like being a mom sucks. Like you just get shat on over and over. And
literally,
my mom, literally sometimes. And it's like all my wife wants is the world for my children, and they're like, Dad. And I'm like, I went to work.
There's also this theory that I love that the only people who should be in government running the world are mothers of young children, because they're the only people who are truly living in the future. Like I am constantly thinking about 10 years from now, getting my kids to like be self-sufficient humans. And so I would just be passing.
God, that's so funny. I'm so not there. Like Keely and I were talking yesterday. Sorry, I'm off the rails, but we were talking about potentially like we just theoretically, if we were to have another children, she's like, well, the only thing that makes me not want to is I feel bad the world we're bringing them into, and for them to have to live in. I'm like, you're that. I just don't want to deal with diapers again.
But like, does Riley do that in the boat? Is that part of it? Like, is he sitting there thinking, I'm sending Erin back into this world? Why don't you take me with you?
No, well, you can drown yourself.
I mean, yes, that's always an option for all of us.
Look, burning alive sucks. I don't want you.
Yeah, I saw it was awful.
Yeah, it sucks.
Right.
Which, by the way, circling back. So put a pin in kids.
Not literally.
But I realized that during this interview, one of the coolest things, and it is one of my favorite moments in the whole show, and it was even when I read it, and it has nothing to do with it being my death scene. I just think it's a really cool scene. But the end with you screaming, and Kate, you and I have talked about it a bit, and over the credits, within this supernatural show with all this crazy weirdness, it's the most real moment of this whole show. It's like if you saw someone burning alive in front of you, that's what it would be. You screaming for however long that was, with no music, no nothing, and it's like it's so terrifying.
Yeah,
Zach, you said vampires. Is that what we consider what's going on? Just
no, it's an angel. There's no proof that it's not an angel. Read the Bible.
Well, no, I want to say this because I actually, when I read the scripts, and I didn't know Mike very well yet. I asked him, I was like, so, is it a vampire or is it like an angel? I didn't know if he was religious and this was actually like pro-Christianity. I was getting on some weird pro-life show. Yeah, you can put me online saying that. Cancel me. I don't care. But yeah, I had to ask him because I was like, you could spin it either way. He was like, no, it's a vampire. It's not an angel. I was like, oh, okay, that's what I thought.
Just so you know, my headline is going to be Kate Siegel says read the Bible. So
yes, I'm here to speak directly to moderate Catholics so that when they follow me on Twitter, they can get all of my pro-choice propaganda.
Can your subtitle be, I don't want to be on a weird pro-life show?
Of course. I'd be thrilled to do that for you.
Welcome home, honey, where you belong.
So tell me when you're gonna let me in.
I'm a pretty rational guy.
Something's happening here.
You're gonna let me in.
We are living in a miraculous time.
You're gonna let me